How's it going, guys? I've got a new logo on the channel, I've got new channel art, and I've even got a brand new intro. I've also got a sign back there that I custom 3D printed. It looks awful to the human eye, but in the blurry background, it looks great. I have been hyping up this change for 6 straight days now, so all of you that didn't already know what was coming are probably completely underwhelmed and disappointed, but I'm excited about it, and I've got a great video to bring you today, talking about the top 10 free itch.io games of the week. And hey, before we jump into that, if you are not already subscribed, I upload indie gaming content 6 out of 7 days of the week, so if you want to be along for the ride and never miss an upload, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button. Let's roll the brand new intro. Alright guys, it's time to jump straight into the top 10 itch.io games of the week, starting with our number 10 spot. In this slot, we have a game called Slime's Adventure by SH1N24. Man, I've got that name down pat. This game is a 2D puzzle platformer with a unique game mechanic. So in order to unlock the portal and get out of each level, you have to collect every single gem. Now, along the way, there's tons of enemies of the blue and purple variety. Now, for any given enemy on the map, when you die to them, you spawn in a very specific location and you take on their color. Now, between the two colors, each one of them possesses a special set of abilities, but here's the catch. You have to be the same color as the portal in order to exit the level. This is such a fantastic platformer. It really favors the playstyle of people who like to pick through levels slow and methodically and remember every twist and turn. In order to beat this game, you have to have a great memory and be able to build a map in your mind of the order of operations needed to beat the level. If you guys do like 2D puzzle platformers and you're looking to up your game with a new challenge, Slime's Adventure would be a great game for you. Alright, moving on to our number 9 spot, we have a game called Tactibo by Timothy Dowplay. This is a fantasy turn-based roguelike game, and it honestly reminds me of board games like Stratego and chess. This is a single player game, and to start out this game, you get 3 champions with separate sets of abilities. Now, at the start of the match, there's a designated area where you can place all 3 of your champions, and each one of them has a unique set of moves that they will do every time it's your turn. Now, throughout the game, there's many things on the map that you can manipulate that will do things such as change the direction of your champions and enemies, push them in certain directions, and even trigger attack patterns. But be careful, because your champions can attack and even kill each other, and if they make it all the way to the back wall, they will die. This game is so much fun and so well developed. It starts out easy, but the levels gradually build, and it gets harder and harder as you go. Now, obviously, I have not played through this entire game, but I'd highly recommend it to anybody that loves a good strategy game. Alright, moving on to our number 8 spot, we have a game called The Light, It Burns by Shark with Lasers. This is a 2D top-down action puzzle game where you have to wind your way through a series of levels without touching a bit of light. Now, if your character does happen to come into contact with light, it has less than a second before it dies, and you have to replay the level. These levels start out simple with the light sitting in a static position and little to no obstacles, and as you move on, each level gets harder and more complicated. Eventually, the lights end up moving in certain cycles, and you do get crates that you can push into the way of the light in order to block it and let yourself through. If you value balance in a game and you're looking for a skill-based game that matches memory, skill-based gameplay, and puzzling, this is the game for you. Alright, moving on to our number 7 spot, we have a game called Eyes in the Dark by Saga Gamer Studio. This game is a 2D platformer with a unique twist. So for this game, every single level that you play starts out in complete darkness, except for the very first platform that you start on and the end goal of the level. Now, each subsequent platform is completely invisible until such a time as you touch it. Now, when you touch these platforms, they do become visible for the rest of the round, but if you fall off and die, they are all invisible again. Now this game mechanic makes for a super fun gameplay experience because there's a bit of guesswork involved in order to find each platform, and you're terrified to die because if you do, you'll lose all your progress. Again, this is a game that values a good memory, and if you are able to think through the level and guess where each platform will be, you'll be an ace at this game. If all of that sounds great for you, I'd highly recommend this game, and I had a ton of fun playing it. Alright, moving on to our number 6 spot, we have a game called SuperLightShoot by SuperValu. This game is a 3D shooter, wave defense game, and you might remember it as the game that made me scream like a girl. Let's roll the clip. Yeah, definitely not my proudest moment, but it is a good showcase of how intense this game can get. So in this game, you are sitting on a tower in the middle of an arena, and there are doors on all 4 walls that robots come streaming out of. Now you have a gun that can shoot balls of light, and you have to take down each robot before they reach your tower in the middle. If you do let a robot reach you, it will knock down your pedestal by one section, and once it's all been knocked away and you're on the ground, you're vulnerable to attack and death. This game is so much fun and really intense, and it just seems to be begging for some sort of score system. I had a blast playing this game, and I'd highly recommend all of you go check it out. Hey guys, thanks for watching this far into the video. If you are getting some value, would you mind doing me a favor and hitting that like button and dropping a comment down below? It really helps this channel to grow when you guys do that. Alright, moving on to our number 5 spot for the week, we have a game called Painless by Green Panda Studio. This is a 2D unique platformer game where you play as a heart making your way through the levels of a body, and you have to repair nerve endings so that they can feel again. Now the unique game mechanic for this platformer is that the more you exert yourself by running and jumping, the faster your heart rate gets. Now, the faster your heart rate gets, the more blood you use. It seems to stand to reason, right? Now you as the heart have a finite amount of blood to work with, and the only way to replenish it is to sit in one of the various pools of blood scattered around each level. Now this game is not nearly as gross as you'd think it is, it's actually quite cute, and it makes for a really unique gameplay experience. If you do like fast-paced 2D platformers with lots of skill-based gameplay, but that still make you plan your way through the level and think everything through, Painless is the game for you. By the way guys, all 10 of these games are 100% free, and the links will be in the description down below. Alright, moving on to our number 4 spot, we have a game called The Right Turn by Prox. Now we talked about this game quite a bit on Thursday. This is our 2D mouse-based platformer. Now in case you missed that video, here's what it means. This game is laid out like your classic platformer with simplistic level design and a character model, but you view each level on a screen within the game. Now you can use your mouse to do one of 2 things. You can tilt the screen in order to make your player slide in either direction, or you can pull a spring on the bottom of the screen to make the player jump. If you guys are sick of playing the same type of game over and over, and you need something new to switch it up, this game is absolutely the game for you. I've never played anything quite like it, and it is super enjoyable. Alright, moving on to our number 3 spot, we have a game called Nightingale by Travis. This game is a 3D platformer where you are hired to stalk a target. Now in this game, you have to jump from rooftop to rooftop and complete 3D parkour challenges to keep up with your target. But here's the catch. If you lag too far behind, you'll lose sight of your target and have to redo the level. If you get too far ahead, the target will see you and you'll have to redo the level. If you fall off a building and touch the ground, you have to redo the level. This game is actually super challenging, but it is incredibly fun, and the fact that it's 3D just adds something more to the gameplay. What I really like about this game is that it is in every sense of the word a 3D platformer, but the gameplay is about being slow. If you guys do like 3D platformers, but you're sick of the super fast-paced ones and you want to slow it down a little bit and be more methodical, Nightingale is the game for you. Alright, moving on to our number 2 spot for the game. Alright, moving on to our number 2 spot for the day, we have a game called The Facility by JZax. This is a 2D platformer with a super unique game mechanic. So for this game, every level consists of a grid of tiles, and you have a finite number of tiles that you can place mid-level in order to serve as platforms for you to complete the level. It's basically like Super Mario Maker if you got to adjust the level as you played. This game mixes skill-based gameplay with puzzling absolutely flawlessly, and it is super unique and a fun experience to be able to build onto the level as you go. It is truly very challenging though, because you only have a limited number of bricks to use, and if you use too many, you have to restart the level. I'd highly recommend this game to anybody that enjoys platformers and is looking for a new one to switch it up. Alright, moving on to our number 1 spot for the week, we have a game called AiliA by Harold Sama. This is a 2.5D puzzle game, and here's why it took the top spot. So in this game, for each level you start out on a walkway, and there's a glowing blue orb at the end that you must get to. Now there's usually a huge gap in the walkway that there's no way you can traverse, and the only way to solve that is through the use of mirrors. Now there is a mirror provided for each level, and you have to use it to cleverly mirror what platforms you have into the correct spot. Once they are in the correct spot, your player character can walk right through the mirror and enter the mirror dimension. This game embodies the two things that I think are the most important part of indie games. It is the most fun game on the list, and it is the most unique game on the list. If you guys are gonna check out just one game this entire week, I'd highly recommend you make it AiliA. And I apologize to the game developer if I'm saying the name of your game wrong, but I think that's what it is. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking with me to this point. Thanks for watching the video, and if you haven't already liked, subscribed, and commented, make sure to do all of those things. I do have a wonderful Discord if you want to keep up to date with my community, and I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.